You're just moments away from a brand new episode of WTF Nations Radio's Pop Culture Warrior, hosted by the dynamic duo CQ and Radar. Pop Culture Warrior is your number one source for all things entertainment. If it's happening in TV, movies, video games, or comedy, they're all over it. And don't forget to say hi in the comments below. And while you're at it, let the boys know what you think and what you'd like to hear them talk about. Now strap in and get comfortable, because you're in for one hell of a ride. This is Pop Culture Warrior. Shots.
Broadcasting live from the basement of the Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Welcome, one and all. Today is February 23rd, 2021. This is episode 46 of Pop Culture Warrior. This is the show where I stay up to date on all the ins and outs of what's happening in pop culture so you don't have to. I am CQ, your pop culture liaison, and with me as always is the guy who I'm pretty sure is really Mephisto, the man in the bubble, the voice of the unpop cultured, Mr. Radar. What is up, buddy?
What's up, man?
It must be Tuesday.
It is fucking Tuesday. Man, I don't know what you did. I don't know what you did, but we're getting all kinds of weird comments in the video.
Hey.
Like, everything else tastes like semen. I'm like, well, spit the cock out.
There you go, man. Hey, if you're not getting haters.
Like, I'm lost. I'm like, are you fucking second lieutenant? Like what?
Hey, man, if you ain't getting haters, you ain't doing it right. That's all I'm saying. We're here to have some fun.
Fuck hate on me if they won't.
We're here to have some fun, man. I got so much cool stuff to cover. We have just a ton of pop culture news, movies, TV, gaming, and of course, we're gonna talk about some WandaVision too, because we got the finger on the pulse, right? That's what's happening right now. Gotta love me some WandaVision. Real quick. Yeah. First of all, shout out to everybody out there. Thanks for joining us, guys. As always, we really appreciate you. Last week we had someone call us out on the show and they said, yo, what's up with the Spawn? What's happening with the Spawn movie? Where is that at? And I actually caught me off guard. I went, man, I haven't heard anything about it in a while. I'm going to dig into it. I'm going to get back to you. So here it is. Update on Todd McFarlane's Spawn movie. This is as of 4 days ago. He says the plan, at least right now, is to have something pretty significant to tell audiences in the next few months. So that's his way of saying, I don't got nothing to say right now, but stay tuned. He's hoping, I think he said like mid-summer, to have some type of announcement regarding the movie. He said, movement is happening. Things are happening. Things are coming. He goes, we crossed a specific threshold literally last week. We're in the process of making it happen. His actual quote was, "I get it. We're living in a weird time. It's the pandemic. Nobody wants to say anything because you never know what's going to happen and whatever else." But he says, as a collective team, we're doing what needs to be done to keep this moving. We're putting our pressure on ourselves. Hopefully by mid-year, we'll have something really big and tangible to go public with. And we're not going to do it to backtrack and yada, yada, yada. He goes on and on and on. But basically the gist of it is, that there's nothing to talk about right now. He still wants to do it. They're still looking for a production company to get behind and actually like pay for this and release it. But he, the stance is where he's at is mostly that I want to do this right, and I'm not going to do it unless we do it right. And so he's in no rush to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but sounds kind of like a cop out though too, man.
Kind of, a little bit.
Like, okay, I get it. And this comes with every fucking filmmaker. It's like, I just want to make it so it's just so pure, and this is how it. Fuck you! Put out the movie already.
Yeah, but what is it you always say? What do you always say? Just make it good. Make it good.
You can make it good and not make it like 100% pure. You know what I mean?
I mean,
you can fucking sell. It's Hollywood, dude. Sell the fuck out.
Gotta sell out, man. It's Hollywood. Yeah, Thomas, I see you, bud. He says, not going the cyberpunk route with it, where you just, see that, but they kind of delayed, then finally released something, and it turned out to be, depending on how you played it, either a hot piece of garbage or something with a lot of bugs.
Hot piece of garbage, served fresh.
That's what we do here. Hot pieces of garbage served fresh. So that's the update.
Just put the fucking movie out already, right? Motherfucker, wait on the shit.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Put it out.
Here's the deal, too. Here's the deal. Right the fuck now. Time now, right? There ain't shit in the theater.
That's right. That's right.
Put out mediocre, and people are gonna go watch it.
I mean,
people, you can't.
What we talk about
actually fucking watch it.
A couple weeks ago, Wonder Woman, which let's admit it was not a great movie. It was not good. And they put themselves into every category at the the Academy Awards. They nominated themselves for every category.
It was them in like Shrek 14 or some shit.
Yeah, I mean, why not? There's nothing else being released, so you can do that. The other update somebody asked about was the Assassin's Creed, what they were doing at Netflix with the Assassin's Creed show. And I dug and I dug and I dug, and literally the only thing I could find was the announcement back in October that, hey, Netflix is doing an Assassin's Creed show.
I looked at that and they said like the end of November or something.
Yeah, but it's all speculative. It hasn't come from Netflix themselves. So, yeah, that's the projected dates. But yeah, I was looking for something more official and I couldn't find anything. So I'm gonna keep digging and see if I can't get an update on where that's at, who's involved, and what's going on. But to the matter of the minute, WandaVision.
Yes.
What did you think of that last episode, man?
Are we gonna spoil it?
I mean, spoil it, man. It came out
Spoil the fuck out.
4 days ago. If you haven't seen it yet, I'm sorry. Sorry about it.
Sorry about it. Fucking get your shit. Get your shit together, son.
So what'd you think? I mean, was I right or was I right? I wanted to clip myself.
Is she the quote unquote villain?
Right. That's the thing. That's the question. Everybody, I mean, that's the jump out answer, right? Oh, see, she was behind it all. She's the bad guy. Nothing ever seems to be that cut and dry. Maybe she was part of it. Maybe she was involved. Maybe she has a part to play. Maybe she is bad. Who knows? Who knows how they're going to play this?
Well, I'm guessing the motherfuckers who made the film know.
Well, obviously. The people that wrote the script, yeah, they know. And yeah, Josh, I see you, bud. They are setting up the multiverse. It is. I've said this week after week after week after week. This will be a tipping point for Marvel going forward. There will be a multiverse of sorts here's I read an interesting thing. Here's where there's a hitch in my giddy up. Here's where there's a problem with my theory, where I said the end point of this movie, or I'm sorry, the end point of this show was going to be this massive climactic thing that forever changes the universe. You ready for this? Spider-Man Far From Home takes place 8 months after Endgame. They said it in the movies. It's been 8 months since everyone returns. So it takes place 8 months after. Okay. We know this show takes place 9 days after Endgame. Yeah. They specifically call it out. So my theory of like, dude, this massive world bender of a thing happens and it changes everything. Well, if 8 months from now, ish, you know, Peter Parker is going to, you know, the whatever. Where did he go to? Europe? Yeah, he went to Europe, and everything's fine. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how that plays in. But I did have something. All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. There's a lot that can happen between here and there.
Sure. Admittedly,
right?
Sure.
We still have Falcon Winter Soldier coming out too, and they haven't really put a timeline on that yet.
Nope. Either have they. Post Endgame, that's about it.
Yep. I mean, everything coming out now is post Endgame.
Right. For the most part.
So, yeah, for the most part, nothing that I don't know. They haven't said anything anyway. That's been like, oh, they're going to prerequisite to Endgame. Yeah. So,
Black Widow, remember?
What's that?
Black Widow.
Yeah, whatever.
But other than that one, yeah.
But I mean, like, essentially everything new coming out is
right.
Right. And maybe not in what order they have it, and we'll probably see as we see it as it comes out. We'll actually know for sure. I'm sure they'll probably allude to it in Doctor Strange somewhere.
Probably.
There's actually going to be a nice segue between WandaVision and Doctor Strange.
Yeah. I
mean, it almost has to be.
Yeah.
But back to WandaVision in and of itself, and in the last episode. Okay, some questions. Where are the boys? This isn't Walking Dead. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's not fucking. They should be in the house. They're not in the house.
I mean, yeah. She's something. I've been saying that. I mean, dude, I wish I should clip previous shows of the things I've said, because I said it's Agatha. I said she wants those kids. Everything she's done up to now is to make those kids a reality and to get control of them. The one time she tried to grab the kids, you know, was when they were babies, and that's when there was like a problem because, you know, Vision was like, no, don't touch them, and that you saw her, she kind of weirded out, and then all this other stuff happened, which is why from that point she's been trying to kind of get rid of Vision, send him on these little quests and get rid of him and cause strife there, so that she could single out Wanda, get the kids. And now she got the kids. Whatever it is she's trying to do, she did it.
She turned them into rabbits.
Maybe eating their souls or eating. I don't think you eat them. That's just a little too dark for Marvel.
I mean,
but like absorb their essence. I don't know. Something. It's something witchcraftian. It's something Marvel.
But,
yeah.
Hold on. Mm-hmm. Hold on. That's all under the assumption that she is actually the villain in this show.
Right? It's not looking good.
Prefer to like eat the babies. She has to be the villain.
Right.
In the comics, generally, isn't she kind of like a mentor?
She is. She's like anti-hero. She's the.
In particular, she helps her realize her
powers
and all these, which one might argue she's doing right now in WandaVision. She's helping Wanda understand and use her powers, strengthen her power.
Yeah, she's pushing her and pushing her and pushing her. Yep.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Maybe in a way trying to help her process her grief by doing this whole sitcom dance. Maybe this is her way of pushing her through the stages of her grief, you know?
Now, goes back to like the couple times with like Vision.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've argued that Vision is autonomous of this whole thing,
mm-hmm.
right? It's not controlling her. Now we see that Agatha is not controlling him.
Mm-hmm.
Like he does whatever the fuck Vision wants to do.
Yeah,
right.
He's obviously subject a little bit because as like they've changed. You know, remember the rewind time thing when they saw the beekeeper guy and they rewind time, he's obviously part of it is you know, he's it's hard to say. Parts of it he's starting to put together, but also parts of it where, you know, like in the one scene where he was like, well, why are there no kids here? But then, you know, 10 minutes later when there's kids, he's like, cool. You know what I mean? He's not going, wait a minute,
Right.
we just talked about this. Like, he's obviously kind of coming in and out.
Not this last bit, but in episode 6 he kind of
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
He was starting to kind of put some of that stuff together and everything, and it just kind of seems to me that, and like I said, when he tried to leave the hex, the one thing that didn't get kind of ripped off him was the stone, was the mind stone.
Right.
So the kind of the theories, the fan theories, or whatever, however you want to say it, that Wanda could actually recreate all of that. She has enough power to redo all of these things.
I don't think they will, though.
I don't know. Why not?
Because you're retreading. You know what I mean? Like, Endgame was this big end cap of the original saga. So for her to rebuild the stones, and then like now it becomes this thing again.
Because the stones went back in time with Cap. They went back to before all that.
Right? But so see, they go to separate timelines.
But the stones actually did not get destroyed.
Right. But not in this time. This is where it gets confusing. Not in this timeline. Yes.
But here's the other thing though too, right? She had the power to destroy the stone. Right. Why would she not also have the power to recreate the stone?
I agree.
Or maybe not the stone in general, right? The actual stone in his head, but once the actual essence that had.
Yeah.
Right. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, like, actually, like, not just give him, like, puppet him around.
Yeah.
To actually, like, bring him back to life.
Yeah.
There has been talk in the past of her bringing him back to life, or bringing things back to life, right?
Absolutely.
Like,
Absolutely. Yeah. Hey, quick shout out to Heath, man. He says he's driving, but he's listening. So what's up, Heath? Big what's up? Thanks for checking us out. And then John, I see you there, bud. Yeah, Josh said, do you think Monica's now the hero Photon? And do you think the real villain is Mephisto? I think yes. Monica Rambeau is now her superhero counterpart, and I think that will play into. I think she'll be part of Miss Marvel 2, but also the Miss Marvel. Captain Marvel 2 and the Miss Marvel TV show, 2 separate projects. I think she'll be part of that. And as far as Mephisto, I really thought it was too far to push the whole Mephisto thing. But as we get closer and closer to the end, and as there's so many hints with, obviously, when you're in her dungeon and you see there's like the ram's head and the sacrificial bones and like obviously the evil book and all, like it's just pointing to this very demonic, supernatural, occult. It's got to be leading to Mephisto or some version of it. I mean, we had Dormammu in the Doctor Strange movie, who was like this evil other space multiverse alien thing. But a version of Mephisto would be interesting. That would have a lot of implications, because does Marvel now say then there is a hell and a heaven, and that those are actual places, right? Because Mephisto comes from the pits of hell and these things. He's basically the devil. So are you then
not Colleen is what you're saying?
No. There's like 4 different devil kind of people, like level powered people in the Marvel universe.
There's like different types of hell.
They all come from the same general pit.
Can
but
we agree that one of them is Colleen, Texas? Can we agree to that?
I mean, probably. I did find this. I want to share you real quick. You got to see this. So this is a shot of the book that was seen in the basement, right? Glowing red, as it were. Now, above is a shot straight out of Doctor Strange. He's in Tamahaj. Was it Tamajar, something like that? Wherever and that is the secret evil text that nobody's supposed to touch. And if you notice, one is missing, and they're kept in a hexagonal shape. Isn't that strange? Isn't that a little on the nose? You know, do you think that this book could be the missing book? From Because remember, I think that book that was stolen was the one where the bad guy, what was his name? I forgot his name. But he ripped the page out to do the evil spell stuff. Could this be the rest of the book? Could this witch, Agatha Harkness, got her hands on the book and been using it to do all sorts of, stuff? I do agree, Josh, that it could also be the Dark Hold, which is a very classic Marvel catch-all for an evil spell book. It's called the Dark Hold. Could be one or the other. I just find it so perfect that if they don't, remember? Remember I said there's supposed to be this big level special cameo at some point in the next 2 episodes. What if it's Doctor Strange coming to get this book? He goes, "This belongs, in our library." He says in what was it, in Thor? I think it was Thor, where he says to Thor, he goes, I keep tabs on all supernatural beings and yada yada yada. So maybe he's been monitoring the situation. Maybe he knows what's going on. Maybe he has to come in at some point. I don't know. I just think it's too perfect. It's too perfect not to utilize and tie this scene into that scene. It's too perfect. What do you think?
There's a lot there. Okay. So you think Doctor Strange is going to show up in WandaVision?
I think it's possible.
And at the end, grab the book and be like, "No, come check me out in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness."
I think of all likelihoods, it is a strong possibility.
All right, then. Now, do we think Mephisto's going to come, though? Honestly. Because you haven't been far off on the other stuff.
I haven't been. I've been pretty damn close to accurate. I will say this. From episode 1, I was like 100% no. And every episode that's gone up, it's been like 10%, maybe a little bit, yeah. And then another 10%, a little bit, yeah. And then I'm at like 70, 80% where like, shit, man, they could really build towards Mephisto and really, get it. And they're saying your mic's a little quiet. I just pumped you up.
I turned it up. I turned it up a little bit too.
I pumped you up too on my side. But yes.
I'm louder in my earbuds.
Yeah.
I'm louder.
You're loud in my earbuds too, bud.
What do you want me to turn it back down?
No, I'm kidding. I never want you being louder than me.
Box.
You should never be louder than me. Okay? My show.
I'm loud as fuck, dude. It comes with the beard.
It's hey, what's up, Steve? How you doing, man? Yeah, I think it's possible. I think, it's possible. And that weirds me out that I think it's possible, because I never thought it'd be possible until, yeah, I kind of think it is. I think what better way to do the head fake and be like, "Oh, look, here's our villain," when we know there's 2 more episodes at about an hour each left. And right, because it's 6. Wait, is this 6 or is this 7? This is 7. So yeah, 2 more episodes at about an hour each. Like, that's so much. Either it's gonna be hey Matt, we're talking about WandaVision. We're either talking about, it's either the next 2 episodes are gonna be this massive blowout, psycho, crazy magical battle, or they're going to build up in the next episode about how Agatha's the bad guy, and have to fight her and then get, do this and do that and that. And then boom, in comes the big twist for the last episode. It was Agatha, but she was serving her master. And then you bring in the big bad, and maybe that's when Doctor Strange goes, "Okay, I got to step in." And, because, you bring in Mephisto, I got to step in and handle my business. I don't know. I think it's possible now. The more, all I know is for sure something cataclysmic is going to happen at the end of this. It's going to change the shape of the MCU. It's going to establish, like Tommy and Billy, if you guys worried about the kids, they're going to be fine. they're going to be established, because guarantee you a few years from now, you're going to be talking about the Young Avengers, and they're two of the key members of the Young Avengers. So yeah, so they're not going anywhere anytime soon. But yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, I think they're pretty much here to stay. I don't think she's gonna suck all their essence or whatever. I feel like that's pedophilia you're talking about, but whatever. But okay, because it seems to me that Agatha, right? Agnes, if you will. When you look back, there's been quite a few hints to who she is.
Many,
right?
Many.
Yeah, and I didn't see it coming, but I'm the big R. So actually, I kind of did too, but it's more fun to give you some banter.
Sure.
Also, mutants. When are they gonna pop up? Because I feel like that should be
mutants.
Anytime now.
They're coming. They're coming.
Like in the next 2 episodes.
No, not in this show. No, 100% no. I'm at a 95%.
Question. I have a question. I have something something that just popped in my head that's been bothering me. And kind of mutants, kind of not. Okay. Hear me out on this one.
Sure.
All right. So the first time people get kind of sucked into the hex. Or the hex in it and of itself as it moves and grows, and some people come in very easily. Some people actually get sucked into it, as we saw in like episode 2, 3. She just got sucked sucked the fuck into it, right? This last episode, she tries very hard to get in, and actually has to fight to get into the hex.
Well, and I can tell you the difference being, remember the last episode, they were, or not last, 2 episodes ago, they were sending stuff in, no problem.
Yeah.
And then the drone thing happened. She came out. Remember, she did the big and turned the text red. Because originally it was basically just a camouflage border, which is why I think, people were able to go in easily. The guy went in underground easily. They sent drones and stuff in easily. But then after the fact, she changes the border to that red powered up. Now it's not hidden. It is an obvious stay the hell away. And since then, nothing was able to get in, and even Vision himself struggled to get out. I think from that point on.
Well, because the way that it was kind of, nobody could get out, right? Nobody could get the fuck out, except for her, except for Wanda.
Yeah, because it's hers. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. She lived her own hex. Well, why she wanted her, but anyway, excuse me. So when the hex expanded, it was just done. No problem. She had no problem integrating new people into her universe, right? As clowns and strongmen and whatever. But I don't know. We didn't really see anything in between that, where she came out, turned the hex red, went back in,
right,
and the incursions sense. But it kind of seemed to be that at least when she expanded it, there was no issue, there was no problem. Done. People were in.
Yeah, it does question a lot of things, and I think we're gonna.
So I guess my question is, so we know now that Agatha, Agnes, Harkness, whatever the fuck you want to call her, has been no pup strips a little bit.
Yeah.
Is it possible she was trying to keep her out? What do you think about that?
Keep Wanda out?
No, not Wanda.
Vision.
No, not Vision.
Who?
Who do you think?
Oh, Monica. Well, yeah.
Truck.
Well, sure.
Not just the truck, but like when she came in, like she had like fucking flying off her and shit, right?
Yeah. No, I think the whole idea was it was Wanda adjusted the barrier to keep everybody out.
She tweaked the settings.
Yeah, she tweaked the the old dial. And I think that Monica being able to go through was because of her going through it twice already, right? They talked about how her cells were rewritten, and part of that is almost like her body already knows how to go through. The other thing is her superpower is she can see and interact and different wavelengths and spectrums. And if we're talking about all this is this cosmic radiation, right? It was the thing sending the TV signal and all that. Part of her power in the comic books is to bend, alter, interact with, give off, adapt to all these types of. In the comics, she was called Spectrum or Photon, and that's part of her. When she goes inside, you see her seeing all the colors of the spectrum, the electromagnetic spectrum. That's part of her power set. So I think part of it is she's already gone through the barrier so many times, and part of it is that's kind of part of her new superpower is to bend and manipulate and alter, and so she was able to kind of pass through it by force. Matt says, I really just want a new Deadpool movie. The other movies shows are bonuses. What's your favorite Marvel movie? I'll tell you real quick. We just had a conversation with my wife. We were talking about this. What is my favorite Marvel movie? Now, I have to immediately take out any of the Avengers movies because it's too much. Like there's too like you can't, they're all in the movie, so you can't. Of course, I love those movies. So a standalone Marvel movie for a hero, my favorite movie, and I got to take out Captain America: Civil War because again, there's just so many of them in there. It's a great movie, but it doesn't seem fair. So standalone superhero movie, Captain America: Winter Soldier is my go-to Marvel movie. It's got great action, great writing, great twist. It for me, it's when the Marvel universe kicked it into high gear, and so coincides with the fact that that's when the Russos came to Marvel, and it just really the whole everything went up, way up. It was just so good after that. What about you, man? What's your favorite?
God, I don't know, dude. I think for plot and for all of the things and kind of for action, I think Civil War. I think Civil War was pretty fucking good, dude.
It's good. No, great.
I don't know. I just think, I mean, just for everything that it built and made and kind of, I don't know.
It still today, impacts the Marvel universe. There's a couple key movies that still today impact the Marvel movie. Winter Soldier, making S.H.I.E.L.D. part of Hydra and then collapsing S.H.I.E.L.D., Civil War with the Sokovia Accords, Age of Ultron, obviously, because of the Sokovia incident, creating Wanda and Vision, and then Civil War, creating the tension between the heroes. And, there's so many, there's so much. There's so much great stuff out there. But I feel like we've talked about WandaVision Marvel enough. I have lots more other things I want to cover today. What say you, sir? Shall we?
Let's cover whatever you'd like, sir. I am your co-pilot.
Okay. I'm super hyped.
I'm like the head stewardess.
any nerds out there? Not even nerds. It's such a night. Any of us who love pop culture things. Something came out this week that was sure to get people hyped. All right. I got a little something for you. Have you seen, sir, the release of the red band trailer for Mortal Kombat?
No.
Oh, all right, guys.
No, I have not.
Buckle up, because we're about to get crazy in here. Check out the red band trailer of Mortal Kombat.
All right, then.
All right, so there you have it. Mortal Kombat. Woo! Radar. What do you think, buddy?
I think this could be fucking pretty tits, dude.
I think so, man. I think so, too.
That was... And I'm going to say this. As far as trailers go, that was pretty graphic.
I mean, it's the red band trailer, so they're allowed to get crazy with it.
But what I'm saying is, generally, when it comes to trailers, I mean, it's a combat movie, more about combat. But even then, dude, come on.
I mean, let me tell you something. Man, that looks it. When they said,
it looks fucking sick, dude.
When they said, and Jim, no, you don't have to see any of the old Mortal Kombat. This is a complete reboot, start from scratch, retake on the series.
You gotta watch all of them. But you can't watch them in the order they came out. You got to watch them in some weird, made-up fucking order that thankfully is on HBO Plus.
No, let me tell you something.
Or the right order, so you want it that way.
Shut up. No, the
And
original,
then they're gonna come out with another one like randomly that's gonna fit somewhere in the fucking middle of all
the
of them.
two Mortal Kombat movies that came out previously in like the '90s, Mortal Kombat and Mortal Kombat Annihilation. While I do have a place in my heart for the Mortal Kombat movie, I was I was a kid when I saw that movie, and I thought it was the most badass thing with the Mortal Kombat. Anyway, I those movies are pretty cheesy. They're pretty terrible. They are what they are for the time. This looks really good. This looks, and I read a bunch with the stuff the director said, and watched some videos with the special effects people and everything, and it really seems that they're taking, the canon, which is hard to do because it's like 16, 17 games spanning 30 years. And all the canon is completely mixed up with itself. The what they're doing here is trying to pay homage to the series and do it the right way. The first thing that I loved when I saw that, the first thing that I loved is that Sub-Zero's kind of the bad guy in this movie. Because in so many iterations, he's considered the hero. He's considered one of the good guys. And Scorpion being his powers based in fire and demonic and all this, like, always is the bad guy. And this kind of turns it on its head. Scorpion's not necessarily the good guy, but you're going to see, so, spoiler alert, the first like 15 minutes of the movie are like Scorpion's backstory and, how he became who he is and what he is, and then it goes, through the rest of the movie. But they say it's legit like the most intense 15 minutes of an open you'll ever see. It is just super hardcore as far as the choreography, the violence, and it's gonna be I really do think it's gonna be a good movie. I when I heard about the Mortal Kombat reboot, I was just like, why? You tried it, it didn't work, it doesn't adapt well, but I mean, it looked like Sub-Zero slices Scorpion, the blood goes up, he freezes it in air, turns it into a blood dagger, and then stabs him in the top of the head with it. Like, that's awesome. That is awesome. And there will legit be fatalities in this movie. The director said, look, we've kept the fatalities in. We were concerned that, they were going to try to make us edit it out or whatever, but like the studios were like, dude, go for it. Go for broke. So it is going to be super hardcore and as faithful to the core as it can be. Obviously, they introduce some new characters and, because you got to have a story, obviously. But they really tried to keep the core element, the original characters. So it's going to be, I think it's going to be cool. I'm excited. Pete says, I got to stop singing and dancing because I'm horrible at it. Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it.
Well, it's whatever. No, but I'm going to do, I don't know. Hey, can they make it good?
Can they make it good? That is the question. That is the question.
Because I don't know. I play Mortal Kombat. We're of that age. You and I are of that age where we grew up playing Mortal Kombat.
Oh, yeah.
My son is not of that age. I mean, there is some Mortal Kombat stuff, but I mean, not as much. Right. And especially at my younger ones, my Fortnite kids they have never seen it. If it's not Rocket League or fucking Fortnite or some shit like that, you know what to talk about. You know? So in order for me to be able to take my kids to see that movie, probably not the little ones because I don't want to fucking deal with that.
Yeah, bullshit. It is going to be a hard R, by the way.
It's, yeah,
a really hard R.
Have you not seen some of the kids? They just on YouTube the shit they watch.
That's true. That's true. Right. And it's going to be on HBO Max. You'll be able to watch it for the first 30 days from the date of release, April 18th. You'll be able to watch it at home from the comfort of your own home on HBO Max. So
I need a new couch.
I need an HBO Max sponsorship.
Ooh, yeah.
This video is sponsored by HBO Max.
We should do that. Get a hold of like HBO and fucking three people or three. Three.
That's like my three.
I want to get a hold of HBO Max, Disney Plus, and Dave Chappelle, and Dave Chappelle can come over to my house with muddy boots on and say, fuck your couch. And just get it off muddy. I don't care. And then
Scott says, Scott says about the Halo Showtime series. Yeah, I've heard about it. I'm gonna take a note. Next week, come back. I'll have an update on the Halo Showtime series because it's been a while since I heard anything.
But anyway, I think between Disney and HBO, they can afford to buy me a new couch.
Absolutely.
And I can watch movies from the comfort. And I will sit on my couch. I will put it in my bunker, like where I'm sitting right now, HBO. And I will sit in it and do my weekly podcast. And I will thank you profusely.
Yes. We'll sing all the praises of HBO.
I will.
The overlords. I think Justice League was
buy the subscription to HBO Max.
Justice League was a phenomenal movie.
It was the fucking best, man.
Thanks HBO. John, I see you, John. Yeah, if we get the discount, we're gonna share the discount. If we get the HBO hookup, we'll share the discount with the audience.
Unless they get all pissed off and don't let us have the discount anymore.
I will get my free account and then I will publicly give the login for everybody in the audience. We'd all share my HBO Max account when I get that screener.
Is Paramount coming out with this streaming service too? I'm so far.
They do. They are. Yeah. So NBC did Peacock, and then I think Paramount's. What is Paramount's called? Paramount. I don't know. Paramount Plus. Let's just call it that. But it was Paramount. Something. Oh no, something about the mountain, right? Like the Super Bowl. They had the commercials about the characters all going up the mountain.
Yeah,
that was the Paramount streaming service.
And they were like playing golf off the mountain and shit.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly. So that was that. Anyway, good call.
Question. Speaking of NBC, did you get a chance to watch The Young Rock?
I did see The Young Rock.
What did you think about that? I know this is kind of off topic.
No. I mean, it's popular
it's
culture.
Kind of pop culture.
Yeah. No, The Young Rock. So I'm a fan of Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I'm a big fan. I like the majority of the stuff that he releases. I'm on the fence about this one, and I'll probably be in the small majority. I think it was funny. I think it had moments. I think it's touching. I think it's an interesting plot device to say that, oh, this is future Rock about to run for president, releasing all of his memoirs and telling the people how it really was. I think it's very brave of him to openly talk about, stealing and basically walking away from a death.
A homicide.
Yeah, a hobocide. He basically admits to walking away. Illegal transfers of titles. I mean, he's implicating himself in so many different things, but
he's been pretty. I've seen a couple different things in the past that he's talked about.
He's a very honest
upbringings and stuff.
Yeah, and he's always been very honest about his past.
Yeah, I really do appreciate that.
Yeah,
and he kind of uses that as like a tool to say, look, if I can escape this life, you can too.
Yeah,
and I do like
if I can escape this, then you can too. If you're 6'7", 300 pounds, pure muscle and intimidating, yeah, I can do it. You can do it. I'm sorry, I can't pull off the Rock look. But yeah, no, look, it wasn't bad. It was not bad by any means.
Well, there's more coming.
There's more,
and so I'll
keep watching.
This is kind of what I do is I give it a couple 3 episodes.
Yeah.
And I did that with WandaVision. I do that with almost everything I watch.
Yep.
I'll give it a couple 3. If it's good, I'll continue to watch it. If not, fuck off. I've got other things I can watch.
Sorry about it. No, and the other thing, I always find it hard to judge a show based on its pilot, the first episode.
Yes.
For many reasons. The majority being any first episode, so much time and effort went into that one episode.
Yes.
In a 1 season arc, they're pumping out episodes 4 or 5 days at a time. But that first episode, that months of approvals, costumes and set pieces and it's just so much. So, this is like them saying they put their best foot forward. Some shows, the quality drops after that first episode.
Absolutely.
Some shows, start out floundering and kind of find their way as it goes on. Look at a show like The Office. The first season of The Office wasn't that great. They were tied too closely to trying to recreate what the British version did. Once they kind of let Steve Carell do his thing and then just kind of like hitched their wagon to him, the show became what it is. You know, but so it's too early to judge. I thought it was good. Like, I definitely didn't think it was bad. I just didn't think, like, you know, there's people raving about it, and I'm just like, I'm not ready to rave about it just yet. Give me some time.
I did. This is the radar take. I didn't hate it. My wife didn't hate it.
Yeah,
and I think the two younger boys watched it with us. They didn't hate it. But it wasn't something that I didn't set my DVR for it. I'll probably, because we have cable still. I didn't even know this. We turn on like the cable box, like we've got DirecTV.
Yeah.
I turn it on like twice a year. Once is for the Super Bowl.
Nice.
You know what I mean? Like everything else, I just some various streaming service, whether it be Disney Plus or Amazon Prime or Netflix or Hulu or
might as well
whatever.
cut the cord, man. Just cut the cord.
Yeah, but there's just a couple of things that it's nice to have.
Sure.
On cable, especially like local news.
And with the Young Rock too, they even said like it was live, you know, when it came out, which was like last Tuesday night or whatever. And then also available on like Hulu the next day. So like you can literally
it was on Hulu the next day.
Yeah, you can.
And most stuff still is. A lot of stuff still is on network television.
Yeah.
I was kind of wondering with you know CBS having all access or whatever it was, and the Peacock network and all that, because the main reason to have Hulu was because of the the
next day
network
stuff. Yeah.
And so now that the big networks have their own streaming service, I was kind of curious how Hulu was going to be affected by that. And at least for the things that I've wanted to watch, they have not been.
Yeah. And listen,
and the History Channel has some stuff on it.
You derailed us. We're in movie news, man. You're bringing up TV topics.
We are, but we talked about whatever.
We're in movie
The Rock.
news. Yeah.
The Rock. He's a movie star.
I guess. Moving on. I've got news.
Would you not call The Rock a movie star? Honestly,
I mean, well, now you can say he's a TV star as well. So
he's a fucking star everywhere.
What they call him, a triple threat? Yeah.
He's all kinds of threats. He's everything but a rapper, and it probably is that in the shower. I don't know.
Yeah. There's been things. Cool news. Movies. Going back to movies. Everybody knows that there is a Flash movie coming eventually, and we talked about it many times about how they've got Ben Affleck returning as Batman. They've got Michael Keaton reprising his 1989 Batman. They got all this stuff happening in this Flash movie. Well, apparently they're not done yet, because they've just announced that the Young and the Restless standout Sasha Calle will appear in the adaptation of the Flash movie as, I got a picture for you right here, Supergirl.
Is she hot?
She's very pretty. She's very, very pretty. Very attractive. Very attractive. She will be playing Supergirl. Now, I find it fascinating, many reasons. She's not a blonde, first of all, which is that's easy to fix. It's easy to fix. Yeah. The more interesting thing is she's not white in of itself. She's a Latina. She's Spanish. Yeah. So this will be the first time that Supergirl is played by anybody not super white. So
yeah, not like Aryan, like that. The comic version you have up is like Aryan.
Yeah, is basically Nazi propaganda. I mean, my God, they're like white, blonde, blue eyes. Yes, very much so. So I mean, they're putting together something. I don't know what it is.
Put together something on old radar.
They're putting together a smorgasbord of talent for this movie.
No, not. Then I'll tell you why.
Oh,
because they could have cast the AT&T girl for this.
Call back to the AT&T girl. I like it.
I'm gonna keep dropping them truth bombs.
You know what? I'm getting her on this show. I'm
Please
I'm
do.
gonna put it down right now.
Please do.
I'm getting the
God.
AT&T girl on this show at some point, and you're gonna interview her, and then I'm just gonna play
What?
clips in the background of you going, "She's super hot. She's so hot. She's super hot."
She is, dude. Sorry about it. You know, she's like, I don't know, just the way they have her cast in that character. She's not one you think is like, oh god damn, girl, what's your name is. But then you see her, you're like, oh god damn, girl, what's your name is. So
You're killing me.
just saying, sorry about it.
You're killing me.
I mean, this girl, she's cute. She's not unattractive. She's hot. I'll
very,
give her
very
that. Well, there's
pretty.
a reason. Let's be honest. There's a reason she gets paid to be in front of a camera and I don't.
Hmm.
Let's say that. But yeah, she's just no, she's not selling me a phone.
Yeah. So here's the interesting take on this, and why I
Yes.
feel like they can go outside, let's call it the canon of Supergirl for this. In the comic book, she was his first cousin, blonde hair, blue eyed. She's related. She's blood.
Yeah.
When Man of Steel came out, the original Man of Steel that started this whole Snyder universe of DC characters, there's the scene where he finds his ship, right? He's in the ice and he finds his ship. As he's walking through the ship, there's all these pods. One of them's open. And at the time, they said that was meant as a tease that, Kara Zor-El, this Supergirl was out there somewhere. Like, there was supposed to be, they even shot a scene where there was, another suit, and it was, off the rack missing, as if to imply somebody was missing. Also, at that time, there was a tie-in comic book. The big popular thing to do is when there's a comic book movie, they do, a tie-in comic book to tie into the movie. So somebody unearthed one of these tie-in comic books, and in the comic book, it basically talks about Kara Zor-El not as Superman's cousin, but more of an ancestor of his, somebody who had traveled to Earth thousands of years before, the events of Man of Steel, and that was her scout ship, and that's the one that Clark finds in the movie, is her scout ship, and she had gotten stranded there. So if that holds up to be canon, that would make sense why she would look different than him. And I guess Hispanic. I guess.
Yeah. All right, then.
I guess. It's either that, or we know that the Flash is going to be going to these alternate timelines and alternate universes, and maybe they try for the gender swap, like he ends up in a universe where Superman's a chick. You know what I mean? They've done it in, TV shows and comic books. You go to the bizarro world where everything's backwards. Well, Superman's a brunette and a woman. I mean, I don't know. They haven't give.
I don't like you very much right now. I don't like you very much right now at all. You know why? I don't like you very much right now.
Why is that?
That picture that you have cropped.
Yeah.
Of her.
Yeah.
Why did you not use the full one?
That because of reasons.
Because her titty hanging out.
I wouldn't go that far, but
hanging out.
I mean, it's
Sorry, she was having a wardrobe malfunction where her titty hanging out.
I mean, there's come on, censorship laws. There's only so much I can get away with.
It's on the internet.
I mean,
sorry about it, Sasha Callie. You don't want a picture of your titty hanging out. Don't go to a awards banquet, the 46th annual Daytime Music Awards or whatever, with your titty hanging
on a specific. Do you want to give out the date, time, and website they can find that?
Well, I just Googled it. I just Googled her because I didn't know what else she was in.
Yeah.
All right, and this picture came up of her, the 46th annual Daytime blah blah blah, and her titty hanging, and it's the same fucking picture. But then again, so I looked at Google images of her, and every picture is her titties hanging out. So I mean,
moving on. In other news,
what other news? If you're bored and in the barracks and need some titties to beat off to, Google this chick. There's plenty of them.
In other news, and especially
I'm here to help the troops. I'm here to help the troops.
Because we're on DC right now. In other DC related news, and this is kind of a first that we're hearing about, you probably don't recognize this character. He's not super mainstream. It's the Blue Beetle, Jamie Reyes, one of the Blue Beetles. There's been a number of kind of like attempts at making a Blue Beetle movie, and it looks like it's finally actually gonna happen. Attached to it is director Angel Manuel Soto. He's done things. We've seen episodes of like Smallville that had small cameos with like Booster Gold and Blue Beetle and these very small things, but nothing's been done in this big way. Let's see what else. Sorry, I had so many notes here. I'm just trying to shoot through them all. Yeah, this is a big deal. Because much like we've seen, Black Panther was like a big movement for the Black community, and Shang-Chi and the 10 Rings that's coming out is going to be obviously huge for the Asian community. There aren't any real Latin superheroes, and Jamie Reyes is what's that?
Supergirl.
Okay, first of all, it hasn't happened. Second,
yes. She's cast. For it.
But we don't know if she's playing a Latina. That's the thing. She is in real life, but if she's playing a whitewashed version, I don't know. What would you call whitewash if the person's not white? I don't know. Good question. I don't want to go down that hole because that might sound super racist.
We're not
that might sound super racist. No, yeah, but the character. What I'm saying is the character, the superhero character, is Latino. He's Spanish descent. We had Miles Morales.
Yeah, we had
is half Spanish, half black, and that was in an animated movie. We still haven't seen him in live action, so this will be the first live action fully.
Jack Black played
the Mexican wrestler, yeah. Lucha Libre. Is that what you're going with?
Right. Yeah.
The whitewashed Nacho Libre. Yeah, Nacho Libre. That is whitewashing. That is whitewashing. You also had, oh my God, did you ever see the movie? Will Ferrell did a Spanish movie, a full on Spanish movie. I thought it was a joke, but he actually did his Casa de mi Padre, his house of my father, I think is the translation, and it's a Spanish, like an old school Spanish soap opera of a movie with terrible, like he fights a tiger and it's like a giant stuffed tiger kind of thing, and it's meant to be terrible. It's meant to be terrible, and he speaks terrible Spanish the whole movie.
So do I.
It's a great. You should watch it. Watch it.
Speaking terrible Spanish.
Casa de mi Padre. Casa de mi Padre. Look it up. It's hilarious.
I don't know that.
Yeah. But yeah, so no, it's very interesting to see. There's nothing further attached right now. It's just the director. There's no writers, no actors attached. It will be a movie. That's what they're saying.
It will be a movie. All right.
I mean, it'll be a feature length. It's not going to be like a straight to HBO Max. It's not going to be a TV series. There's so many different things now, right? WandaVision, you can't call that a movie.
It's not just a fucking movie. It's either, it can be a whole different
idea. Yeah, there's so many things can be now. But this will be a legit movie. Yeah, so yeah, I mean there's so much that goes into this. There's a lot. She's in whiteface. That's a good one. So much. You know what? We're gonna go on a break. I need to reset here. You guys have been awesome. Hang in there. We're gonna go on a 10-minute break, maybe even less.
Holy shit.
Even less. We'll keep it shorter.
Union? Are we union now?
We're union now. So we need our mandated top of the hour break. You guys have been listening to Pop Culture Warrior on WTF Nation Radio. Stay right there. We'll be right back. See you guys in a bit. Shots.
You're listening to the sounds of WTF Nation Radio.
I stood there in that middle of church with a bottle of gin in my hand. I'm looking up at the rooftop like I'm trying to find my long lost friend. My days turn to nights, my nights turn to weeks when you're living life on the road. I'm halfway back to New Orleans with a few more drinks to go. I said, tip 'em on back. Well, let's tip 'em on back. I finally made it back to Bourbon Street, picking some of them old night bars, hoping I could find myself playing music on my guitar. Boy, the kid around, they all shouted out as the drinks began to flow. I pulled out that old guitar, then I showed them how to do-si-do. I said, tip 'em on back. Well, let's tip 'em on back. Church with a bottle of gin in my hand, looking up at the rooftop like I'm trying to find my long lost friend.
Call the show now at 415-889-8367. The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
What's up, everybody? We're back. This is episode, I don't even know, of Pop Culture Warrior. 46? I think we're at 46. What's up, Radar? We're back.
What's up, man?
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing.
Where we left off was on movie news. I've got something that I think you're going to love talking about. Are you ready for it?
Carol Baskin?
Let's switch over to TV news.
So we've been talking about the whole time, talking about movie news. That's actually talking about movies now. TV news. It's you.
In some Carol Baskin news.
Serious?
I am. King Season 2 has been teased by Netflix.
What?
Are you ready for Tiger King Season 2? Obviously, you know, last year's pandemic, or this current year, this whole pandemic lockdown, really, when you look back and you go, what was the thing that really stood out was Tiger King, or as it is officially known.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I missed that part of the pandemic. I missed the Tiger King stimulus check.
Yeah,
Staying home from work part of the pandemic.
when everybody was on the
that.
same like. Yeah.
Everyone was still like on the same page, that we all loved each other still. Like,
we were united in our hate for Carol Baskin.
We were, yeah. Everyone hated Carol Baskin. We all got our stimmy checks, and life was good.
Yeah, that's when it all went down. At the season finale of Tiger King is when everything went to shit. That's when it all went downhill from there.
Absolutely. And that was the heroes we needed at that time. We didn't know we needed Tiger King.
Yeah, they're not who we deserve. They're who we needed.
And I still don't think we deserved.
So the bizarre docuseries Tiger King, Murder, Mayhem, and Madness. So Netflix previously confirmed that the series was watched by something like 64 million users in its first 4 weeks of streaming.
Yeah.
So
I struggle, even like my parents watch like Tiger King. Not the whole thing. I think they watch, they do that. Oh, dumb. But
Sure.
I mean, like, it fucking swept the nation. It
rooted itself. Yes.
It was pivotal.
Yeah. I mean, it was one of the few things we could talk about in the early days of Pop Culture Warrior because there was nothing else to talk about.
It was like Tiger King, and then like everything that was canceled.
Yes, everything being pushed back again.
And wondering
Tiger
if
King
Disney was going to go out of business. We weren't sure about
yes, there was. Let's see. So, what's on Netflix brings word of surprising developments in the Tiger King world, noting that persons interviewed in the original series, um, have spoken out about something new happening. Both John Renke and James Garriston have different videos on the platform where they allude to another season of the series happening soon. So now no official time frame has been given, but Garriston teased that we could be seeing something in March or April of 2021. So yeah, go ahead.
You want to know why this is important?
Mm-hmm.
I read today we may be getting another stimulus check around March, end of March.
Are they're trying to take us back to happier times?
Yes.
Bringing back Tiger King and stimulus checks.
Tiger King and stimulus checks. We're all good again.
Yeah.
Guess what? I'm not locked down now. Now I have to go to work. I can't just binge watch Tiger King. Okay.
That is true.
See you. Sorry about it.
That is true. The timing of this would be perfect, seeing as how about a year ago is when the show premiered. So it makes sense to bring. Yeah. So, I just having
us to flatten the curve.
Yeah,
I remember about a year ago, wasn't it?
We just need 4 weeks to get it all worked out. No, I just, how do you make a season 2? The first season covers like 30 years of information. How do you cover, like, what do you cover since the last episode to now and make that a season 2?
Well, there has been some shenanigans.
Sure. There's been a couple things, yeah.
There has been. Up into and including the pardon.
Yes.
Or lack thereof.
The lack thereof, yep.
I mean, so there's content.
True
and
enough.
I'm just assuming that even in the past year, since 14 days of on the curve, here's your Stevie check, here's some Tiger King, bye, see ya.
Here's what I think. And guys, if you're in the chats, let me know what you think. But here's what I think. So obviously, what he's been up to in prison, the whole pardon, that could be a whole part of it.
I'm
right
actually
there.
Surprised he's not a fan of prison.
Okay, moving on. So that could be one whole part of it. Carol Baskin and all the craziness she's been up to since then. But I would love if they took a real hard look at what did the sudden celebrity of status of these people, how did it change their lives? Oh, right?
Yeah. I mean, now they can get anything they want at the Walmart.
Yes, exactly. They go to Waffle House, it's on the house every time.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
But like really,
I heard that the last time they went to Waffle House, they actually got clean silverware.
What?
That's the level of celebrity they have.
The one like square foot that's not sticky. They got that section. No, so like how does it change their lives? What have they been up to? How are they capitalizing it? Because they're capitalizing on it. Also, since then we've had was it Doc Antle was arrested. So like that whole thing would be interesting.
Prison together.
Probably not. I want to know what's up with the concubines, right? Like what's going on with them?
Yeah, I really want to know what's going on with them.
Yeah, so I guess there is, I mean, there is, such, yeah, I think there's enough. I don't know. What do you think? There's enough to.
I mean, and here's the thing too. There's been enough actual no bullshit content that they could actually talk about.
Yeah.
But there's also enough like.
And there's there's also the Carol Baskin getting the property. Yeah. Like getting the rights to all his stuff. That's a huge part right there. That could be a whole episode there. So yeah.
But I mean, there's also in this, right? There's like they can add in filler. There's enough filler. These people, they're perfect for this.
Mm-hmm.
Filler. Just random bullshit that they just fucking spout.
Mm-hmm.
Out of like the shit that falls out of their faces. That's what made us love them in the first place.
Yeah.
right?
And then
I mean,
there's
everyone likes tigers. Everyone likes drama and murder mysteries and shit. But the characters in and of themselves and the shit that they would pull, like when that bitch got her fucking hand bit off, and
yeah.
and he just shows up like in the fucking coat, like as an EMT and his skin tight pants, like perfect.
And
And this man is made for Netflix.
yeah. And Lord knows how much never before seen footage there is.
Oh god.
I mean, if that was like the stuff that stood out, imagine all the other stuff that was just like, so you could make a whole, yeah,
like meth and tigers, and fucking all of it.
yeah. And you know what? We haven't heard much about I was gonna say the parody, but like the Hollywood version, right? It's been a while since we heard. Remember, there was like two different. One was gonna be like a movie.
Yeah, there were
about it.
Reeves.
No, it wasn't Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves
it was like
gonna be a part of that?
Nicolas Cage, I think, was supposed
Nicolas
to be
Cage.
the Tiger King.
Yes.
And then like what's her name? Kristen Wiig was gonna do like a Carol Baskins like parody show or something like that. Hey, I gotta find out. I gotta look into that. What's going on with those? Because I haven't heard anything in a while. So
well, they're still under lockdown. Probably it's California.
well, yeah. But yeah, so that's the Tiger King update. I figured that would it always cheers you up. Get some.
I know it's perfect. It makes up for my shit beer.
All right. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Christopher? Man, yes, we're live. We are live, man. Appreciate you checking us out. In other TV news, this one, I feel like some people are going to be really excited about it, and some people are just kind of be like meh on it. I'm not sure where I fall just yet. You ready for this?
All right, ready.
Tim Burton is making his TV directing debut with a live-action Addams Family series, not really based on the Addams Family, but it's about Wednesday Addams. So it's going to be a live-action Wednesday Addams Netflix series directed by Tim Burton. So he's obviously never done TV, and although this isn't really TV, it's Netflix, but you get the episodic series.
Yep.
He's never done an episodic series. He's going to direct a live-action Addams Family series. One of the executive producers from like Smallville are going to be serving as showrunners. It's not about the entire Addams Family. The new show is called Wednesday, and it's about everyone's favorite troublemaker.
Ironically, comes out every week on Friday.
Probably. If they don't release it on Wednesdays, they've missed a huge they've missed a huge opportunity. I'm just gonna throw it out there.
Oh yeah. Okay, I'm gonna interject. Get your thoughts. A couple questions.
Sure.
Is Christina Ricci gonna be in this?
So far, that I was gonna lead to that the internet has been a buzz about it, and they say they cannot do it unless Christina Ricci is involved. Yes. And it was a couple years ago that Christina Ricci put out that picture. I think you know what I'm talking about. The one where she dressed up as Morticia Addams and looked, I mean, stunning.
Yes.
Yes. So even though the series won't be about the entire Addams Family, if at some point they don't tap her,
you have to have Morticia in there. I mean, maybe not as a key part of
cameo.
Just
cameo.
Yeah,
you get the original Wednesday Addams to play Morticia Addams, and just a throwaway gag, just something to appease the fans. If you
but it's kind of like Last Man Standing always has the Home Improvement crew on there. A capacity or another.
Sure.
Sorry about it.
Yeah. No. So the first season of Wednesday has been ordered by Netflix. It's going to be a coming of age mystery about Wednesday while she deals with supernatural occurrences at Nevermore Academy. Yeah, so this is the official logline from Netflix. They say the series is a sleuthing, supernaturally infused mystery charting Wednesday Addams' years as a student at Nevermore Academy. Wednesday's attempts to master her emerging psychic ability thwart a notorious killing spree, or I'm sorry, thwart a monstrous killing spree that has terrorized the local town and solved the supernatural mystery that embroiled her parents 25 years ago, all while navigating her new and very tangled relationships at Nevermore. I mean,
sounds dumb.
I
mean, the plot line of it sounds kind of dumb. And okay, I'm going to say this.
Mm-hmm.
If I was going to pick, if you came to me
Mm-hmm.
and said, we want to do this show, we want to do something on Wednesday Addams, and Wednesday Addams alone,
Mm-hmm.
who would you pick to direct it? Tim Burton is one of the first names that's going to fall to my face.
Sure. It
Honestly,
makes sense.
I mean, that
makes sense.
This is right in his wheelhouse of
Yep.
what could be
Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah. You know, it's the dark, brooding, sometimes silly, sometimes creepy, borderlines, psychotic, you know.
Yeah. So this is right in his wheelhouse. So I'm going to trust him and his abilities.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's gonna be tough though. I don't care for that plot line. I don't sound, that doesn't sound good to me.
I think Mike Larson, he says in the chats, he says it's I think he's spot on. He says it sounds like the other stuff that Netflix is doing, like Sabrina, the rebranding of Sabrina, the rebranding of CW did what? The rebranding of Riverdale, the Archie stuff. It sounds very much in line of that edgy, you know, taking the classic and
it's that, but it's like this one's gonna be like the teenagers who cut themselves and like wear black and are furries and shit.
Oh, the shit that comes out your mouth is awesome. I tune in just for that.
You haven't. Someday you're gonna meet my fucking kids and know exactly where I channel this shit from. But
here's the thing.
Life,
yeah.
In real life,
mm-hmm.
As Radar, I'm going to give it a chance. I might like it.
Yeah. There's for a simple nostalgia's sake, I'm gonna check it out just to see what they're doing with it. It is. I don't know. Is there a like outside of us? Is there a generation that really are young people like hip to the Addams Family? Like, is there? I think didn't they do like an animated movie a couple years ago, something like that? I don't know.
Yeah.
It just I don't know how much interest is going to be in a show like that. Like you said, if it's aimed at a younger audience, if it's aimed at that cool kids that smoke pot, whatever, and cut themselves, like you said, you know, if it's aimed at...
that makes them cool.
All right,
these are the kids who like hang out by lockers and get made fun of and don't have like enough attention. Like those kids, yeah.
The guys that play Magic the Gathering in the corner, you know.
Oh, something like that.
I can say that because I play Magic the Gathering.
My kids do too. I love whatever.
It's fun. So yeah, I don't know. I'm willing to give it a shot. I think that it could be something really cool, or it could come off kind of, you know, dredging up stuff that nobody cared about. I don't know. Speaking of this, I'm on my other screen here, in case you haven't noticed. Looking at pictures of Christina Ricci, and if she is not cast as Morticia Addams, it's a shame. It's a shame.
Let me see if I can. I'm gonna send this to you if you want to put it up. If you don't want to get it, but I mean, just look. I mean, she's not. This isn't like a bad picture or anything like that. No. It's not.
Not at all.
Where did you go? There you are.
I think. Here's the thing. I think
like just look at this picture I just sent you. Like she just looks like the way she's standing, like her hair, all of it. That's Morticia Addams, dude.
It does give a.
Just you have to put on like if you just change her from a blue dress to a black dress, that's Morticia Addams.
It's very close.
I mean,
very close.
It doesn't take. It's not a stretch. And she that's part of the reason when the original Addams Family movies came out, I just thought like when I thought she was hot. And I'm not wrong, but also additionally, like I was like, she's like perfect for this role. Like, you know what I mean? Like looking back on it, like I've watched it since with my daughters and stuff. Like she was a really, really good fit for that role. She just fit it so well. Her mannerisms and her like the way she
Sure.
was she'd hold that monotone voice and be she really fit that role so well. And I think it would just be a shame to her to not have her in that. And a shame to the series, honestly.
I think they would be foolish to not um invite her to partake. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Whether or not she chooses to do it. Here you go for the people at home. There's the picture. For I think they'd be dumb to not try to include her. I don't know if she's going to want to do it.
She may not. She may be done with it.
Yeah.
Like she might be over, but
Well,
I'm just saying like
the fact that she dressed up as Morticia Adams a couple years ago kind of makes it seem like she'd be down for it. But
maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't. I think that's one of those things. I'm not an actor or an actress, either one. But I mean, I know there is that kind of that fear, like you get kind of
Typecast
cast in a certain
Yeah.
typecast. And I think she maybe I don't maybe she doesn't give a shit. I don't fucking know. She's probably got more money than I ever will have.
At this point in your career, aren't you just happy to get work?
Right, probably. I mean,
Yeah.
she could always do porn, but it's whatever. But I mean, like, she's probably fine at it, whatever. And if she doesn't want to, she doesn't want to. It's whatever.
Yeah.
But I think just all of the things kind of really make it where, yeah, if I was doing it, well, it's Tim Burton. He can fucking get someone else to do it too.
Yeah, I'm making a note here to reach out to Christina Ricci's people and let them know that hey, if it doesn't work out, she can always do porn.
No, I'm sure she knows.
It is too much.
There's gonna be some point. I just someday we're gonna be big enough. You're gonna have like an hour special, and you're just gonna have Christina Ricci come on and be like, "Oh, you think I should do porn?" And then like the AT&T girl is gonna come on and like just whatever.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like a whole fucking hour of that's embarrassed radar.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna be the one eating crow over here because of shit you say. All right, moving on. Speaking of,
they know you and your people. They don't. I don't even got people.
Speaking of old stuff that not sure if people would even be tuned into and what's going on with it or even care. We talked about this a little bit last week. Twisted Metal is coming as a TV series. There was some news that got dropped. Remember we talked about it last week that they were, in talks with like Will Arnett to play Sweet Tooth and Kumail Nanjiani and a couple other people. Well, the newest news that came out this week is that terrible pun, the wheels keep on turning for this, live action adaptation as it hired some big talent. As reported by Variety, the high octane action comedy series will be written by Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick. Why are the names important? They previously worked on both Deadpool movies and the Zombieland movies. Yeah. So some very dark, funny, twisted, fourth wall breaking. They've got the pedigree for it. The series will also be led by executive producer Michael Jonathan Smith, who also produced and wrote for Netflix's Cobra Kai. So you've got the writers from Zombieland and Deadpool, and you got the producers behind Cobra Kai. It's starting to sound like they're actually putting some people into this. You know what I mean? Like some. It seems like they're maybe this will be something to watch. I'm super on the side of I don't see how this is gonna work, but
right.
What did they talk about last week? It's about an outsider who's trying to deliver a mysterious package across post-apocalyptic wasteland. All right, sure. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know, but they're getting some talent involved. They're getting, I always say before you can pick the hire the right actors, you gotta have the right script. You gotta have the right director, because you can have all the talent in the world acting it, and it could turn into garbage because if the writing's not good, the directing's not good, the acting ain't gonna be good. You know. So anyway,
Right.
that's that's the latest with Twisted Metal. Does anybody even care about like I'm just
About Twisted Metal?
I'm
No.
curious. Yeah, I'm curious if anybody is out there and they're like, oh, uh, man, I can't wait for them to do another Twisted Metal. Like, my thing is like, if it's not even a popular game series anymore, how are you gonna make it a popular TV series?
You're not.
You know what I mean? Like, I
You're
would.
not. That's the thing. I mean,
We've talked about this. If you're gonna make TV show, give me Halo. I'll watch.
Yep.
A good Halo story. Any of the Rainbows, not Rainbow, the Tom Clancy stuff, right? So Rainbow Six, Splinter Cell, any of those. Give me a Call of Duty TV series, like things that are based on popular things that people are still interested in.
right.
I get it, but to be like, hey, remember that Atari 1800 game that it was awesome.
Frogger, the series.
Don't even put that into the universe. I'm sure they would do it. They made an emoji movie. You'd think
They
they
did.
wouldn't make a Frogger movie? Like, they would.
Man,
They
I don't
would.
know, probably. It was Wreck-It Ralph, basically.
I mean, it's very much in that Donkey Kong style. Yeah, old school.
But I mean, I don't know. I just can't see this. I don't know.
I,
Make
I,
it good,
I
boys. Make it good. That's all I'm gonna say.
yeah.
That's the radar station.
I'd love to be proven wrong. In this
Absolutely.
situation, I'd love to be wrong. I would love to be wrong. And coming from a guy who loved Twisted Metal, I played every entry into the franchise up to like 4 or 5 or whatever it was. But the games didn't really have a story that made sense.
No,
And you're gonna try to make a TV show out of it.
Dude.
It was just like, here's a car. It shoots missiles. Go shoot those other cars. Cool.
Yep, exactly.
Um,
It's like PUBG having a plot line or some shit. There's not. Fucking fly in, kill people. Fucking be done. Dead. Say you bye. Do it again.
exactly.
Like,
But yeah, it's one of those things where the yeah, I don't know, man. I've been thinking about it, and I'm like trying to wrap my brain around it and how they're gonna make it work. But I mean, in a world where we have Walking Dead shows, right? They're post-apocalyptic shows, and we got shows like The 100 and all these other stuff that are based on these kind of end of the world. I guess you got Mad Max, right? It's kind of a mix of like a Mad Max meets I don't know.
are they going to have the Viking guy that stormed the Capitol building in their show? They need to cast him in there somewhere.
They might. They might. They might. It's sad to say. I wouldn't be
I wouldn't
surprised.
put it past him at all, actually.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I'd probably fucking make me want to watch it more.
All right, I just got called out by Mike. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. He is throwing in my face the comment where I said very early on, and actually throughout most of the pandemic, that because of this pandemic, we were going to see a renaissance of just great content being produced, and how
We should have. This is the fucking shit we get. This is the
Fair
hot
enough.
garbage trying to serve to us on a silver fucking
I
platter.
have never, in this specific case, I will admit, I didn't account for also people creating a ton of garbage, and just hot, steaming piles of garbage. But hey,
Yeah.
I'm an optimist. I'm always an optimist.
I'm not an optimist at all, and I think this is gonna be fucking hot and dark. This is bullshit.
Eh,
I really feel like this show is gonna be bullshit, and I don't know that I'm gonna waste my time. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pull the old Wonder Woman 84.
Wait for CQ to see it and let you know.
I'll wait for CQ to see it. Like, that was fucking bullshit. Or it'll be like WandaVision, like, dude, it's so good, you gotta fucking see it. I'm like, I'm trying. It's like, dude, I missed the first episode. Sorry about it.
There you go. All right, we got some gaming news, man. Let's check out the gaming news. What we got for gaming here?
Don't need to get an Xbox Series X.
You do. Jim Handy, Echo the Dolphin is the best game ever created. Just saying. You know, I remember playing Echo the Dolphin, and I can't say I agree with you on that one. But good for you, buddy. Good for you.
Good for you.
Good for you, buddy. I'm happy that you enjoyed it. That's what's important. It doesn't matter what everybody says. It only matters that you enjoyed it. All right, first up in gaming news. Speaking of games, that's it really all I had. Speaking of games, because there's no real tie-in. I always try to segue in a bit, but yeah.
Speaking of games,
Watch
Radar
Dogs
still doesn't have an Xbox Series X.
Yes, that first of all. Watch Dogs Legion, which is the most recent entry into the Watch Dogs franchise, has been out since October? November? October. I want to say October. Yeah, October. It's been out since October. Mm-hmm. And while the game isn't record-breaking in any way, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was a great game. We were promised multiplayer. It is now.
I didn't like multiplayer.
Okay, don't. Why is everybody keep saying that I don't like multiplayer? I just said I prefer single player. Doesn't mean I don't like multiplayer. I prefer. It's like a 55-45 split. I prefer single player. But I want to say that it came out late October. It is now February 23rd. We still don't have multiplayer, but they have officially announced when we can expect it, and it's soon. March 9th, the online mode for Watch Dogs Legion will be available. Players will be able to experience a number of new options online, including 4-player co-op, tactical op missions, a spider bot arena, and lots more. Is that enough to get people to go back and play? In this day and age, no. I don't see a lot of people going back to it. I'm gonna check it out.
I'm gonna say this though. And it's not just them.
Mm-hmm.
I think once a player mostly moves away from it moves away from the game, they don't go back.
Yeah,
they don't. I mean, like, unless it's like a franchise kind of game. You know what I mean? You get sick of this Call of Duty when the next one comes out, you'll grab it.
Yeah.
Kind of, but you don't go back and play the old one again. You know what I mean? Like, nobody's going back and playing Call of Duty World War II or whatever. You know what I mean? You're not that. You get the new one and you move to the next, and you sorry about it. You know, no one's playing Vice City anymore or some shit. You know, they don't do that.
Right.
You play the games you like, and then once you get bored with that game, you just kind of. I've tried to go back to old games. I'm like, nah.
It can be challenging. There, I mean, you have to have a real emotional stake in a game to want to like. Once in a while, I'll boot up Final Fantasy VII. I mean, my God, that was from the 90s. You know what I mean? Like, but it's just, there's an emotional connection to it. When you just have like, well, remember Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, the DLC pack? Like, oh, I just love to go back and play that. It's like, no, nobody really does that. As far as this,
I will say this, though. Yeah. I will say this about old Call of Duty games. Rust is still the best fucking map Call of Duty ever had. And I'll fight you. Say otherwise, I will fight you.
We'll have a
Rust. There is no fucking map better than Rust, dude. Sorry about it.
We'll have a side conversation about that. We'll put that in the parking lot. We're gonna hash that one out because
which one's better? Which map is better than Rust?
I mean, a lot of them.
A lot of
I
multiplayer maps are better than Rust.
I don't. I'm a guy that likes skill. I like that there be skill involved, and
there's skill.
There's no skill involved in Rust.
Yeah, you know why there's skill in Rust? There's nowhere to hide.
There's
nowhere to fucking hide in some corner bullshit. Like, oh, I got you. No, fuck that. Both of you.
If I spawn and get shot in the back of the head because somebody was shooting at someone else and I just happened to spawn in the middle of it and I die, that's not.
That doesn't happen very much, though.
I've played anyway. So, side conversation. We'll bench that one for now.
A quick scope.
You know. So anyway, with Watch Dogs Legion, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna try it out and see what it's all about. You know, since I don't like multiplayer games.
Yeah, but that's not real multiplayer. That's not like PvP.
It's multiplayer.
I don't get my buddies, then we can.
It's co-op. That's multiplayer. And then they said
that's dumb as fuck, dude.
And then Spider-Bot Arena is gonna allow 4 players to duke it out using bots. And so, you know, that's a versus style multiplayer. And if for those that are like me and that prefer single player, there will be 2 new missions that release the same day called Guardian Protocol and Not in Our Name. So that's good for single players. There will be, so this is, and by the way, this is all free. The online update is free to all players, but the single player missions that I just talked about, Guardian Protocol and Not in Our Name, will be only available to season pass holders. So,
of course.
So the online stuff is free, so that's good. But if you want more single player, you're gonna have to hand over that cash.
If you want more, if you just want to sit around and play with yourself for hours on end,
I prefer to play with myself. I'm just saying, I can play with myself for hours. So
yes,
I do have something kind of exciting to talk about.
I love excitement,
and I think we'll end up talking about this more in the future because there may be some developments I'm not going to talk about yet because we don't talk about things if they're not guaranteed, right? If they're not locked in, but they look good anyway. Totally in a different page, wink wink, there was a game called 6 Days in Fallujah that was years ago announced. We're talking like 2009, I think, is when it was announced. They've been working on it since 2007. But basically, this game, 6 Days in Fallujah, it's about
since the Battle of Fallujah.
This is a based on true events video game about 6 Marines or 7 Marines and the second Battle of Fallujah.
Okay.
And so it was made alongside those guys telling their stories, and like it was supposed to be super realistic, not in the sense of like visually realistic, but in the sense of the emotions and the things they do and how they interacted and how things happened. And like I remember it being announced. I remember being talked about and thinking like, damn, this is so good, especially in a day and age where everybody loves Call of Duty, everybody loves Battlefield and all this bullshit. Like, this is the real deal. People need to see this. They were even gonna do like between missions, they would play like an actual interview with somebody who was there and like telling their story and things like that. It was gonna be so cool. Well, when the game got announced, the studio, which was a small studio called, I forget, I remember, it was like Atomic Games or something like that. When they announced the game, it faced a huge amount of backlash because people were talking like, this is too realistic. Because in this game, like, collateral damage would happen. Like, you could kill civilians and shit like that because, you know, you blow up, you blow up buildings and there's people, you know, it was like this whole thing, and it was real stories, and you don't know who the good guy is, you don't know who the bad guy is, very much like it is in modern day combat. And so, like, there was a huge amount of backlash. People were saying they were trivializing, you know, because these men and women who died in those battles, they don't get a do-over, they don't get a game reset, start over. Like, they're dead, and like you're trivializing their sacrifice, and you're trivializing the lives lost, and all this and all that. So they faced this huge amount of backlash. Konami, which was the studio that was going to publish it, pulls out. They pull all their funding. They pull out. They say, we're not releasing this. We're not involved anymore. Left the company that was making it high and dry. Company went bankrupt. They couldn't keep putting it out. They went bankrupt, whatever. So this is all 2011. Well, in 2016, the rights of the company and all their IP and all their stuff gets bought up. And I think it was like Victoria or something like that. I remember the Highwire Games or something like that. But they snapped up all the purchase, all the IP and everything, and they've been working on this game since 2017, and it's finally going to be released this year. 2021, 6 Days in Fallujah is set to be released. This game is designed with accuracy in mind. Over 100 Marine soldiers and Iraqi civilians were interviewed to ensure authenticity. The campaign depicts the 6 days of conflict as experienced by the U.S. Marines as they attempted to recapture Fallujah from Al-Qaeda. To simulate the battle, the developers at Highwire Games claim to have created unique technologies and game mechanics designed to replicate the uncertainty and tactics of modern combat in a way other games do not. I've got the teaser trailer for this game. You want to see this?
We better see it.
We better watch it. All right, guys, let me pull this up. Let's go with the teaser trailer for the upcoming 6 Days in Fallujah. Check it out.
Saddam had been captured. The Iraqi army scattered. Lawlessness and fear gave al-Zarqawi his moment, and he was prepared. They seized Fallujah, and the city was the first to suffer under their black banner.
These terrorists were armed to the teeth. No one will fight against them.
It had to be stopped, or the country will turn over to Al-Qaeda.
It was a fortress. It was a well-prepared city, buttressed, waiting for us to come.
The only way you can clear a city is you have to search every house, you have to search every room, and you have to root out every insurgent.
We sustained hundreds and hundreds of casualties. A third of my battalion was killed or wounded.
It was the bunkers they would build inside houses. And you would go in the house, it'd be all quiet, and then they would open up on you or shoot you through a hole in the wall.
If they didn't hit you right away with a machine gun, they would draw you all the way back to the back of the house where there's really nowhere to escape.
There's such a fear, so you're standing in front of the door. You kick down that door, and there's a sense of relief. You only feel it if you survive.
We can tell you our stories. We can show you our scars. But some moments must be experienced.
I think we've done a really good job of appreciating service members. I think we've done a very poor job of telling the actual story of what happened.
All right. There you go. Whew. Intense. What do you think, Radar?
That's pretty fucking badass, dude. That's fucking crazy.
Right? Right? I'm like, this game is, pun intended, been on my radar for a long, long time. Super bummed out when it fell through and when it wasn't going to happen. And then reading the story of how They brought it back. They're, gonna make it happen. I'm super, super pumped. I can't say what, I can't say how, I can't say when, but we're gonna have something to do with all of that in the future, prior to release.
Are you excited about that game simply because it has a very intense campaign mode and no multiplayer?
See, I thought you were going to say, am I really excited because I've always secretly wanted to be a Marine? I thought that's what you were going to go with.
I mean, I don't. Basically the same, get different tattoos.
Yeah, different alcohol problem. Right. But no, I love the fact that, yes, it's a game, it's a video game, but that we're gonna, they're gonna give a serious look at what it was really like. Not this Call of Duty, jumping off a building onto a plane, slapping C4 on it, and then like parachuting off, like a real look.
What, you didn't do that in Iraq, dude? What are you talking about?
Afghanistan. I did that in Afghanistan, but not, Iraq was different.
All right, then, yeah.
Yeah.
We did this shit every day, dude. We would constantly jump off.
Constantly.
Yeah, I would
zip lining through jungles.
I remember, like, there was one week, like 6 times, I jumped off a roof of a building onto like the rotor blades of a helicopter.
Yeah.
And
with
I
your
slapped
teeth.
C4 on the rotor, on the rotor head, and then jumped off safely.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah. Obviously.
And,
obviously.
Yeah.
No, but it's gonna have a, like, let people know what it's like. Like, you have the movies, Black Hawk Down and American Sniper and all that, and it's like, yeah, sure, there are some people's experiences like that, but that's not the typical boots on the ground grunt. Maybe Black Hawk Down might have been like the most, what it's like on the ground for your, but even that had Rangers and SF and Delta and all, like, those. That's not your typical forces. I like the idea of, like, this is just a group of Marines. These are just some jarheads, some boots on the ground, door to door searching. This isn't we're chasing down the plot of a nuclear bomb that's about to detonate half the world, and, like, no, it's just
Plot
guys.
twist, there was nukes in Fallujah. I'm just kidding.
Underground bunkers.
I don't think there was, anyway.
I don't think there was. I never saw them, but I actually did in Iraq. Funny enough, we did a mission you're not supposed to talk about, because you had some black vehicles show up from certain acronyms and letters of the alphabet, but we had to guard this dam while they literally scuba dived because they swore there were weapons of mass destruction at the bottom of the dam. Yeah. As far as I know, nothing turned up, but what do I know? I was just some security detail for some other power plays.
Yeah, right. Yeah, like the fucking they just need something there.
What's up, Xander? How you doing, buddy? I see Xander in the comments. What's up, dude? That's my buddy. Hey, if y'all want to check out some dude doing some cool stuff with gaming, man, Xander's got was it ATX Metal? Is his man? Throw your page up in the chats, dude, so people can find you, man. It's pretty fun watching this dude do his thing. Anyway, side thing. But yeah, no, I think with 6 Days in Fallujah, I'm super excited. Look, it's not going to be a AAA title. This isn't being made by Ubisoft or Bungie or Microsoft. This is a small development team that have just put a shit ton of their personal hours in. It's a labor of love. It's a passion. They want to tell the real story of what these guys have been through. And I think that's awesome. And I regardless of it, if it wins awards or whatnot, I think, what a great way to honor those that sacrifice their lives, to say, look, this is a real life look at what you guys went through, Yeah. If somebody told me they were making a video game of what, I've got friends that died, in combat. And if they were making a video game that again, if it's not meant to, like, sacrilege, you know what I mean? It's not meant to disrespect what they've done, but to show what these amazing people have done and participated in and all those things. I think it's awesome. I think it's so awesome. I mean, what's the difference than that making a movie? Look at the Outpost movie, right? You know what I mean? You could say you're trivializing their sacrifice. These guys that died during, like, no, we're trying to honor them. We're trying to show and bring people close to show them what these men, amazing men and women, have done. And I think, you know, with a video game, it's just another medium. It's another way for the average consumer to, more than a movie. Now you're in control. You see what it's like when the gun's pointed at you. You know what I mean? You see
and
how
you
you
have to
react.
make those decisions and stuff.
Yeah.
And there's no actual like repercussions either way for those decisions, but you kind of get into that situation where you have to. And no, I think it's great. I think I'm looking forward to it. I don't know how. I don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna be intense. It's gonna be intense.
Like camping. It's gonna be like camping. It's gonna be intense.
Because the intense. I get you. The audience doesn't deserve you. They don't appreciate you. They don't deserve you.
They don't appreciate any of this. Any of this.
So yeah. So I had a little statement here. It was the current CEO, Peter Tamati. He was the former CEO of Atomic Games. Set up Victura, and has been working on the new version of 6 Days in Fallujah since 2016. So there's some time and effort. He says it's hard to understand what combat is actually like through fake people doing fake things in fake places. This generation showed sacrifice and courage in Iraq as remarkable as any in history, and now they're offering the rest of us a new way to understand one of the most important events in our century. It's time to challenge outdated stereotypes about what video games can be. He himself was the executive vice president of Bungie during the development and launch of Halo. So this is a guy who knows games. He knows development. The development team of the new version of 6 Days is headed up by Jermaine Gressimer, who was the lead developer on Halo and Destiny. And you know, they got people from the composer of the original Halo, a bunch of ex-Bungie employees. So they've got some legit credentials as far as gaming history is concerned. So like, I feel like it's all there, right? You got the gaming chops, you got the real stories, the real interviews, a game that's been in development for fucking ever. I mean, I feel like it's right there. I feel like it's on the cusp of being something. I'm pretty sure it's going to be PC exclusive to start out. Maybe if there's enough of a demand, they can port it over to consoles. But yeah, I think it's going to be worth checking out. So I definitely recommend all you guys out there show some support. This is for us guys. This is for the military guys. This is for the vets. This is for the active. To show what it is, to show honor to those that have sacrificed as well as to those that serve. And I think it'd be a good game for us all to get behind and support, because and like I said, maybe there's, I don't know, something exclusive happening here on Pop Culture Warrior at some point soon that we can't talk about yet, but that
soon. No, we just can't talk about.
Or may not happen.
Just trust us.
Might or might not come up of anything. Anyway, that being said, guys, girls, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, and everything in between, we've reached the end of our show.
We have.
It's that time. This is the sad time. The sad time of the show. This is when we all say goodbye. It's been a real treat bringing you guys this week's pop culture news, and this is the part of the show where I hand it to my lovely assistant, the effervescent, the talented Mr. Radar. Take us through.
But I'm not any of those.
Take us through what WTF Nation Radio has for the people at home.
Well, tonight, you've been listening to Pop Culture Warrior, CQ Radar. Tomorrow, Donza, day of no scheduled activities. We're off work. It's Wednesday, baby. We're off.
Hump day.
Thursday, Swords time. Ice, Spanky, Sergeants, 3 stripes. Okay. They're going to talk about all things active duty, National Guard, Reserve, all that thing. Okay. All the big Army stuff, they're going to bring you in sergeanty ways. Friday Night Freedom, Cause. Good show. Be there. You're going to enjoy it. They have some just fun stuff. They talk about some cool shit. It's a good show. Be there. Saturday, Sunday, the weekend. We're going to take it off. You should take it off as well. Unless you got duty or something. And sorry about it. I don't. Hence the beard. Monday, the Monday edition. Ice, Flash. Bring you all kinds of current events and fun shit. Like fucking airplanes catching on fire and shit. All kinds of shit. They'll be there. They'll be talking about it. Bringing you all the latest and greatest stuff that you need to know about. Check them out. Going back to us on Tuesdays with Pop Culture Warrior.
CQ and Radar. Back at it again.
Every week, baby.
Every week, baby. We're always here for you. Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. If there's something that I missed, if there's something you want me to talk about next week, put it in the chats. Hit us up on our Facebook page, Pop Culture Warrior. We'll make sure we cover it. I will dig into it. I'll answer your questions. I read each and every one of your comments. Really appreciate you guys for showing up and hanging out with us. We love doing it. Love interacting with you guys. And yeah, because without you, there is no show. So we really appreciate you being here. With that said, my friend Radar, any last words? Any last thoughts? Should we close out another week?
No, let's do it, man. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, we're gonna chit chat about WandaVision on Friday.
Absolutely. Actually, you know what? This is funny. So the other day, like, and not this week, but the week before, I woke up early, and the wife and I both woke up way early, and she's like, "We should go watch WandaVision before CQ texts you." And then we're laying in bed this last week. My phone's going off, and she's like, "Who is messaging you at like 6 a.m?" I'm like, "I bet it's fucking CQ about WandaVision." And I roll over, and it's fucking CQ about WandaVision. So, because you're 2 hours ahead of me, dude. So 8 a.m. to you is 6 my time.
Yeah.
And so you're like, "Oh, check it out! You're gonna fucking see this. You're gonna fucking. I'm not gonna spoil it, but I'm like, fuck, dude."
I can't help myself. I'm sorry.
Underwear, dude. Just chill out once.
I'm
Brush
sorry.
my teeth still, then I'll watch it.
I'm sorry that I get so excited, and I like to share my excitement with my friends.
No, it's good. I'm happy you're excited too. I just want to brush my teeth.
All right. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you guys. Love you. We'll see you guys next week. Shots.
Bye-bye.